is a story about foreclosure, eviction, and squatting. So I'm screwed. Her lawyer just discovered that the foreclosure auction was improper. So I'm the one out all the money. This could go on for 2 or 3 years. Well, stay tuned. This is going to be the best video yet. Trey Freeze, one of my lifelong best friends, calls me and says, hey, do you want to buy a house cheap? I'm like, sure. He's a real estate agent.
John and I have known each other since, I think, pre-kindergarten. Our families knew each other, so we grew up as friends from a really early age. He was actually the first person I ever spent the night with at his house. And please don't ask him about that because there was a diarrhea story involved. It's very traumatic. So the house in Westover on Canterbury Drive, basically through a divorce in the family and some financial situations, ended up going to foreclosure. And so when I learned about that, I tried to put together a few deals to purchase it before it went into foreclosure to kind of save that situation, but was never able to do it. I called my good friend John Wolfe because I knew he had the swing to get something like that done.
He said, it's being foreclosed on. I'm like, when's the auction? He's like, tomorrow. Okay, that doesn't give me much time. He tells me the backstory. Last time it sold at auction, it brought $250,000. I'm like, that's crazy for a house in Westover. I mean, Westover Hills, the Highland Park of Dallas or the Memorial area of Houston, it's definitely the right side of the tracks. So we meet at the courthouse. I'm glad they got the video rolling at 800,000 because it opened at like 300,000. It was just me and one other fella. Everybody else had dropped off.
Okay, high bid at the moment is
860.
860, John Wolfe.
880, Caesar. And there's another 200,000 taxes, is that right?
When the bidding was going up and up and up, I was starting to sweat. And I told John, you don't want to go over X amount of dollars.
Trey's not the gambler that I am.
980 to John Wolfe.
1.1.
1.1 million to Caesar.
1.15.
And he kept going, and that's when he turned to me and was like,
Our deal's changing.
Yeah.
We ain't partners anymore because we're way off where you and I were talking about buying this thing. It's 600 or 700 grand.
1,185,000. High bidder Caesar.
Plus 10.
1,195,000 to John Wolfe.
Now it's time to remind Caesar that there's a $200,000 tax bill on top of this number.
Plus 200.
What was that?
Oh, just talk about the taxes.
I'm doing mental math.
High bidder John Wolfe. 1,195,000. John Wolfe, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other bids? Going once, going twice. Sold to Mr. John Wolfe.
Sell that, bitch, let's go. I call her and explain I'm the person that bought the house, and she said, you're never gonna get it. I'm like, what do you mean? She said, it's rigged, it's a conspiracy, it's illegal. I'm like, I just paid the court. I paid him with a cashier's check today, the day of the auction. I own the house, I've got the deed. She said, you have nothing. And boy, was she right. She fought my ass tooth and nail.
I've never seen anybody fight an eviction like this. This is so different than anything else because she walked away with money after the foreclosure was done. Typically, that's not the case. She was now fighting John with his own money, which is crazy. You know, this is an atypical situation.
So we have to go through the eviction channels. We had to hire an eviction lawyer. And then she started blowing up the police department here in Westover Hills and just power calling them. She wouldn't leave, so what I did is I sent a lawn mowing crew over here to clean up the lawn. And I figured that might scatter her out. And boy, it did. She started calling the Westover Hills Police Department, said, they're trespassing on my property and all this. The police department knew that I'd bought the house legally through the court system. So we finally have our day in court. Her lawyer just discovered that the foreclosure auction was improper. I've already paid the trustee for the house. The trustee already paid her all of her equity, which is like $700,000. The first time they sold it, she filed bankruptcy that morning, and it sold for like $700,000 on the courthouse steps. And then the winning bidder of that auction realized they didn't get it bought because there was a bankruptcy slipped in there. So that was null and void. They had another auction a month or two later, and allegedly nobody showed up for it at all. Then the third auction that you've seen the video of here, that was a good auction. We got a deed of trust, we got a trustee's deed, but the bankruptcy that she filed on the first auction was not yet dismissed. And they realize that now. So I'm screwed. They're offering me 90 days of her living there for free, an additional 90 days, so that's like 8 months total that she gets to live there for free, no rent, no taxes, nothing. So we're fixing to sign an agreement that says she will give us the house in 90 days. We got to pay all the taxes, we get no rent. So it'll be a total of like 8 months. And I'm going to take the deal, because otherwise we've got to unravel the false sale. We got to drag bankruptcy court people into it. We got to drag the trustee into it. But at the end of the day, she's already got her money, and the guy that had the lien, her ex-husband's already got his money. So I'm the one out all the money. This could go on for 2 or 3 years. I didn't mean to get into this trap, but I'm in it, and I paid more than I thought I was going to pay. But here we are. We finally got her out. The day the sheriff came and evicted her, she was prepared, and she'd already gotten all the money. She didn't trust any lawyers in town because she thought that her ex-husband had the system wired. So she hired a law firm in California. And I'm talking to those guys, and I said, did she get the money from the court, the 500 grand plus overage? And they said, yes, she has been funded. I'm like, well, then she can afford to move, because she's telling me I have no house, I have no money, I have nowhere to go. Simply not true.
I can't give you any more time. I've already given you an extra day and a half, and I can't.
Well, see, I talked to, well, I don't want to tell you who I talked to because she's a former judge, but I talked to a judge and a lawyer that said, no, you don't have to get out because the 15th, you get to the 16th.
Well, today's the 17th.
I know, but I thought I had yesterday.
Well, I did. You had yesterday.
No, I had till Monday.
That was yesterday.
Okay, I had till Monday at midnight.
Oh, there's just been a decline in her mental state through the last 5 or 10 years. It just started with all these conspiracy theories about the government, and it just kind of got worse from there, that it's almost like everybody's out to get her when, nobody really is.
The FBI said on Grok, I couldn't believe it, I went to Dallas to file charges of forgery. My ex forged every IRS statement for years. I couldn't see them. I now know why, but I didn't then. And I couldn't get to the accountant. Now, since then, he has died. Now, my ex-husband, that's why he foreclosed on this house. He changed the deed on July 3rd, and I talked to Fred about it right after I talked to you, and I said, what am I going to do? And he said, you're going to move out, and after you move out, we're going to file charges. And I'm like, we aren't going to find a judge who will sign it.
I actually feel sorry for this woman. I don't know if she's coy and plain or if she actually is mentally challenged. Something is definitely wrong. And I didn't realize that I was buying this house with her on the other end in this condition. But what's done is done. The court's not going to give me my money back. How do you handle it? What do you do? What am I supposed to do? Be slow, be easy. Since she didn't want to talk to me anymore, have my assistant call her and ask her nicely. And she's just like hell or high water, no.
I told you could have till to noon today, and you said the piano people were coming yesterday.
They did. They couldn't move it. The chandelier people didn't show up. They couldn't do it. Everybody came. They just couldn't do it.
They couldn't move the piano?
I think that's just a total spike deal. She's making it, as hard to get in as possible.
I built this. I built the one in Mexico. It's 16,000 feet. He forged that. That is a federal, international forgery.
Does she have a place to go?
No.
She doesn't have the condos?
They're full of the stuff that we've taken out.
I don't
Okay.
have a condo. I don't have a family.
Oh.
I don't have a country. I have no place. I don't have an
We
address.
took everything and put it over there.
Okay.
There's not even room for her to be there.
No, there's not room for the piano. There's not room for anything.
So time out. This lady has 2 other very expensive homes in the similar neighborhood, might have 3.
Yeah, and I never could understand why she said she had no place to go. She owns 3 other houses, 2 condos, both that were available the last time I checked. She also let in 2 of the guys we met at the auction. They were able to tour the property, which shocked me because she wouldn't even let in her own family members, you know? But she's letting these people in to tour it and possibly buy the property. The first few times it went into foreclosure, this person who was at the house kept fighting it. Someone would buy the house for X amount of dollars and think that they won, and then the person in the house would fight it, and so it would have to start over. Well, that happened 2 or 3 times. The third time, the judge said, hey, you can't do this anymore. You know, whoever buys it this next time is gonna get the house.
So what do we do now? She's got to leave.
Yeah, you agreed to leave at a certain time.
If it's not out of here tomorrow morning, I will stay here today for somebody to come, but I can't do anything after that.
There were dogs in there that, you know, have been left, you know, to fend for themselves, and who knows what's going on in there. I tried to help her sell it before that, help her move, help her talk about what's going on, and it was just always met with anger and, you know, just bitterness.
I don't know what it is about this woman that makes her hate me so much. If the other guy that was backup bidder at the auction would have bought it, would she have hated him as much? She must have some really weird feelings about me.
The guy, John Wolfe, is just as bad as he is. He purportedly killed a man a few years ago by dragging him behind his truck. That's pretty gross.
She's talking about the situation when I beat up my 20 years ago. That wasn't murder. He got a few stitches.
Do you know a judge I can file criminal charges? Because this is an illegal foreclosure, right?
Another family member tried to go check on this person. She walked up to the front door. Some random man came to the door, and when he opened the door, he just said, "Can I help you?" And she said, "Hey, is this person here?" And he said, "Everything's fine here, you don't need to worry about it." When he said that, family member looked down and there were pineapples like upside down on the floor. And so from that point forward, we started calling this guy Pineapple Man.
Here we are 8 or 9 months later since I paid for this thing, and this is my first day in this house. Oh wow, this is cleaned up. Wow, 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 wow. It's very Westover-y. It's very what I remember when I was a kid in these kind of houses. Cool chandelier. I'm glad she didn't take that. Kitchen. I've seen these pictures, but I've never been in here. The kitchen is 90s. Maybe, yeah, 90s, late 80s, 90s. So this would be a redo for whoever wants it. I've heard the master bedroom is something. Is this it? Right off the kitchen? Yeah. Wow. Wow. This is bad to the bone. God, this is a love shack. This place is huge. This is a basketball court. We got us a big old master bath. Yeah, this is fancy. The ladies over here want big closets. Well, they've got one. All right. Needs new carpet. So she gets this one, and then he gets this one. Needs new carpet also. This is pretty big. It's a hell of a lot bigger than my closet at home. You know you're rich when you've got a phone on the shitter. This is like the hotels in Mexico. You know what, that makes sense because they had a big mansion in Acapulco actually. Backyard, pool's right there. Good looking pool. We need to pump it out, fill it up. Backyard looks good. I mean, it needs more cleaning. It's actually better than I expected. What is this? Pantry or no, coat closet? Oh, there's the pantry. Huh, yeah. This is a wine cellar. Where's the pantry? Maybe this is a pantry / wine cellar. These people like their wine over here. When I bought my house over here, it was kind of the same condition, and they had a fancy wine cellar also. This looks like the gentleman's study. Now, where is this trick bag? I think he said it was in here. The secret hideout room with a secret hideout door. Yep. There it is. Okay, this is weird. You put the lotion on the body. Come here, princess. Oh, it's locked. Clarice, get me the key to the cellar in the attic. Get me the key to the lock-up love nest in the attic. Clarice, Quid pro quo, Clarice, where is the key? A lot of the houses over here from the 80s have mirrors. Ours does too. I left some of them, man, because it's disco. You got to keep the mirrors, man. You got to keep the 70s alive. It is Studio 54. This is pretty badass. The placement of the pool, it's like a villa. It's a big house. What is it, 4,500 square feet? So let's go upstairs. Oh, cool. Got a gym, more mirrors, rock and roll. What's the backyard look like from up here? The tile down there is in pretty good shape. There's a crack, but I only see one real crack. That stuff's expensive, that multicolored travertine. The Bose Acoustic Wave. Dr. Bose made special speakers to suit your soul. I bet there's mirrors. Let's see. Nope. Rich people love cedar closets. Kids' room of sorts. Oh, is this another entry to the porch? Yep. All right. Let's go find this love nest. If anybody watching this listens to the radio show, we're on in Florida in the villages, and the swingers call in a lot and tell us about the loofahs and the different colored loofahs and all the stuff. It's very entertaining to me. I'm weird like that. You got to go all the way over there? I don't know if I can make this. I mean, for me, this is like walking a high wire across the Grand Canyon. I can't balance. I don't have a cane on me. So let me see. I'm doing okay. Let me just skip the rocks and get over here. That's a ladder, not a staircase. Huh. So like to get up here, you need to be a gymnast. Through the attic or through this. Huh. Oh, this isn't a swinger's room. Y'all are so full of shit. This is just a kid's or mother-in-law add-on. Well, mother-in-law better be in good shape if this is her add-on. This was a place to put teenagers and get them the hell out of your life. That's what this was. I know the teenagers that lived here, and I bet that they smoked some doobies. I know that they smoked some doobies up here, actually. Nice little yard. The cool thing about these houses in Westover is they're tucked away and nobody knows what's back here. I mean, this one's behind a huge hedge. You wouldn't even know it's here. Actually, after I bought it, I kept driving by and missing it. I couldn't figure out where it was. So, if you want peace and quiet and serenity, I would take that railing and make it iron. There's a lot of ways to clean this thing up quick. Pressure wash to start with. Dig all this shit out, trim the trees up, get the pool popping again. Probably change the color to a lighter tone of white, gray, more modern. Put an iron rail here, and while you got the iron guy out, put an iron railing up there that looks the part. Make this thing look like more modern spec. They did it here. They used iron railing around the pool. This thing needs a good pressure washing to start with, and then a repaint. Just amazing when you clean something, the difference it makes. She just didn't take care of it. I'm pretty happy with what we got. But Amy said, thank God you didn't come in here the day we did before she moved out, because it was a mess. But we spent some money with cleanup people and leaf removal and all that stuff. The place needs a restoration, but it's not bad. You could either spend $100,000 in here, or you could spend $1 million in here, depending on your taste. But this is a hell of a good deal for where we are in the foundation and the structure of this house. Somebody's going to get a great deal. And I'm going to sell it. And I think I'm going to see if we can just auction this thing off, because I really don't want to do a listing. I'm just an auction kind of guy. So go to gmtvauctions.com. Right here, you can register for the auction on this house. That registration might not be live yet because I just decided to do this, and I haven't even called my auctioneer yet to see if he'll do it. I'm sure he will. And if he doesn't have a real estate license, we can get somebody to stand in. We can get Trey Freeze to stand in and be the realtor for the auction company. But maybe when you're auctioning off a real estate like this, you might not have to have a real estate license, because I think you can just do it at the end and then carry it over to a lawyer's office and do the paperwork there. I'll have to check on that. So I'm going to wholesale a house in Westover Hills.